All right, factors that disrupt the gut. Pretty simple. Okay, processed foods we talked about. Antibiotics, this is a big one. The overprescribing of antibiotics is an epidemic. It's a problem. So antibiotics should be used judiciously. Stress we talked about. Sleep is another one that I think we neglect a lot. And H. pylori. So we talked about chronic low-lying infections that we could be having that could cause this chronic inflammation process. H. pylori is one that we actually see in our practice quite a bit. It's not an uncommon bacteria, but it lives in the gut, and it's primarily transmitted through fresh fruits and vegetables that haven't been cleaned as well. Now you can transfer it, like if drinking after people, kissing somebody that has H. pylori, living in close proximity, hopefully none of y'all are doing this, but sharing a toothbrush with somebody, okay, that can transmit H. pylori. So I won't go too far into that. Okay. All right, and this, I don't know if this will show up very well on the screen for you guys, but I would like to get this out to you guys. It's just a nice visual of how a balanced gut will impact all areas of our health, including the reproductive system, your skin. I see all kinds of skin issues that actually stem from the gut. Bladder, muscles, heart, bone, liver, endocrine system. So endocrine, when we talk about diabetes and insulin resistance, the gut impacts your endocrine system. Pancreas, lungs, brain, and kidneys. Okay. Stress. This could be physical or it can be emotional stress. It could be stress from an illness. So that's a physical stressor. Okay. Cortisol is kind of a buzzword right now. Cortisol is a hormone. It's an important hormone, and it kind of fluctuates throughout the day. It's supposed to rise in the morning and drop down at nighttime and get you ready for bed. When it rises in the morning, it's waking you up. It's saying, hey, it's time to get your day going. But there's a problem when this cortisol becomes disrupted, when it's maybe staying high all day long. And this happens when we're under chronic stress. The body's stress response is like an internal alarm system. When you face a threat, whether physical or emotional, your brain signals the adrenal glands, they sit on top of your kidneys, or teeny tiny glands, to release stress hormones, mainly cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol plays a central role by raising blood sugar for quick energy. So imagine if you're already insulin resistant, and then you're shooting your cortisol up through stress, you're releasing more blood sugar into the bloodstream. Your cells are still, they're full. They're saying, hey, you're bombarding us. We don't need this right now. It will increase your blood pressure. It can suppress non-essential functions like digestion or immune response. Digestion is very important, but when you're under stress, let's say you're running from a bear, you're not going to eat a sandwich and run from the bear. You're probably going to throw the sandwich at the bear. So when you're chronically stressed, it's going to slow those processes down. It's your body's way to protect itself, but it's not supposed to go on long term. And helping you stay alert and focused. That's what cortisol will do. This response is helpful, like I said, in short bursts, like escaping danger, your bear. But when stress becomes chronic, cortisol stays elevated, which can lead to fatigue, weight gain, especially in the belly, sleep issues, and inflammation. Okay. Again, cortisol continued. Chronically elevated high cortisol can increase glucose production by the liver. So this is a fun fact too. The liver is like a holding tank for extra blood sugar. Your liver can actually make blood sugar in the time of like prolonged fasting, for example. People who in third world countries, they're not getting the nutrients that we are. So to keep them alive, their body will compensate by producing glucose in the liver. Promote visceral body fat storage, high cortisol can, and influence unhealthy eating habits. So we talked about that drive to eat. Stress can trigger that. Okay, this is a lot on this slide, but I love sleep. It's like, honestly, sleep is the best medicine. Sleep and the insulin link. Rest and restore your metabolism. So when you sleep, your body is doing so much work you don't even know it. Sleep regulates hormones. If you're getting poor sleep, it will disrupt your hormones like insulin. Leptin is another one that I haven't mentioned yet. Leptin controls hunger, and ghrelin is an appetite stimulant. So leptin's like, hey, you're full, stop. Ghrelin, I think of a growl. It's like my stomach's growling, I want more food. This leads to more cravings and poor blood sugar control. Sleep deprivation increases inflammation. We've already talked about inflammation. We talked about how that can also lead to cortisol spikes, which can further increase insulin resistance and weight gain. Less sleep, more weight gain. I've seen this over and over again too. So again, this vicious cycle. I have someone coming in, we're working with them, we're working on their nutrition, they're exercising. Their sleep, they might be getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep. It's not enough. Their weight will not budge because they are not sleeping. Studies show people who can consistently sleep less than 6 hours per night are more likely to develop obesity and type 2 diabetes. Interestingly, they did a study recently, not just studies, but a study in particular, where they did a sleep deprivation for, I think, 5 days on a patient. 5 days is all it took. And he went from being like no signs of diabetes to pre-diabetic, almost diabetic in 5 days. Is how uncontrolled his blood sugar was from that. Again, sleep supports balanced blood sugar. Better sleep equals better choices. If you slept well, you're probably able to think more clearly throughout the day. And rested brains make healthier food and lifestyle decisions. Fatigue often leads to high sugar or high fat snacking. And if you don't believe, if you've ever tracked your sleep, track your sleep. If you're getting a poor night's sleep, document the next day. Say, okay, what were my choices? Did I have unusual cravings? Okay, compare that to a night that you got good sleep. How did you feel the next day? Were you able to think through some of your choices? Were you craving sugar? Probably not. Okay, nutrient deficiencies. This is important too. Essential players in glucose metabolism. Micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals your body needs in small amounts, play a big role in how well your body handles insulin and uses glucose for energy. A few key players here are magnesium, chromium, vitamin D, B vitamins, and zinc. Okay, so a lot of these really are found in a good quality medical grade multivitamin. So not only do you need these vitamins, you need them in a way that you're able to absorb them, a more bioavailable form.